I am indeed happy to be present amidst you on National Education Day, which is a day of celebration, which is a day to celebrate the birth anniversary of a great son of India, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, and he was India's first education minister. A great freedom fighter, nationalist, and a scholar, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad carved his place in the history of this nation. He became the youngest president of the Indian National Congress. And there is a saying. He published a newspaper, Urdu newspaper, weekly, Al-Hilal. There was a conference of the Urdu scholars, and naturally the newspaper editors were also invited. When young Abul Kalam Azad appeared on the dais, the people thought that his father, who is the editor and who writes excellent speech, makes critical analysis of the situation, flourishing languages, and in-depth knowledge, might have been indisposed of. That's why he has sent his son to deliver his speech. And after listening to the speech of young Maulana, the chairman of the reception committee commented, Maulana has physique of a young man, rather a young boy, but the head of an old man, because of his sagacity, knowledge, and in-depth power of analysis. As a great freedom fighter, he also chronicled, as he reviewed, how India struggled for freedom and ultimately wins the freedom in his book, India Wins. He did not hesitate to make critical observations on the contemporary events and how the national leadership responded to it. Naturally, when such a great personality got the responsibility of steering the Ministry of Education, as it was called then, in the post-colonial era, it was not an easy task. The system of education which was introduced by Macaulay, it was essentially meant to serve the colonial interests of our colonial masters. It's a different thing that the byproduct of these systems were those who completely upset their calculations and led the freedom struggle and ultimately emancipated the country. But most of the products were the products as per the specification to subserve the interests of the colonial rule in India. Therefore, it was a gigantic task. And Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, during his days of steering the education ministry, introduced the systems through which national spirit could be inculcated in the mind of the students. At the same time, scientific temperament, respect for rationality, rational behavior and approach, critical analysis of the situation and events, which are essential ingredients for the progress of civilizations, were inculcated in the curriculum of our education. He was a great institution builder. He established in 1956 University Grants Commission. Remembering the mosaic of Indian culture, diversity of language, religion, culture, systems, he established Sahitya Natak Academy, Lalit Kala Academy, and many other institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, India has the largest young population in the world. It poses both a challenge and an opportunity to our policymakers to harness the youth power productively by equipping them with relevant knowledge and skills. If we can properly train and skill them, they will be asset. If we fail to do so, they will be liability, because it would not be easy for providing jobs and employment to them. Therefore, it is both challenge and opportunity. Let us face the challenge and accept the opportunity. Modern education promotes spirit of competitiveness and utilitarianism, but it should never lead to creation of a generation that turns a blind eye to the problems affecting the society. The youth should be proactive participants in nation building. The onus is on them to find solutions to burning problems of sanitation, drinking water, energy, accessibility to remote areas, public health, and so on. It is incumbent on our educational institutions to instill in our students a sense of ownership of the country's future and responsibility in steering India to greater heights. It is equally important to inculcate in them the old civilizational values, patriotism, compassion, honesty, discipline, respect for women, and acceptance of pluralism that have cherished human society and our ancient civilization. I congratulate the Ministry of Human Resource Development for taking some initiatives which have just now launched here, 2 scholarship programs and 2 website programs, Know Your College, and also for the higher educations, Unnat Bharat. These are right initiatives at the right moment. Let us pursue it vigorously so that the ultimate outcome becomes satisfactory. In the end, I would like to say that a profound objective of education is transformation of an individual and the nation. Maulana Azad had affected the sea change in our education system 6 decades ago. It is time again to rejuvenate it and usher in the real change. On this National Education Day, let us all vow to make that happen. I wish all of you Godspeed and success in your endeavor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.